Alright, so we're at Vito's in Ortley Beach. We're getting ready to film for Sessas Corner. This is Vito's. It's a beautiful deli. There's Stigs, the mascot of this channel. So I just wanted to do I'm doing it basically behind the scenes of Anthony's episode. It's right here on 35 in Ortley Beach. Beautiful spot. Got the menus right here. Those are the menus. Anthony's getting ready. Nicole's over there getting ready. So we're gonna set this up, and we're doing the behind the scenes here. All right, buddy. Tell us what you're doing today, Ant.
We are here at Vito's Sandwiches and Specialties in Ortley Beach. We're gonna have the pleasure of sitting down and talking with Vito and Nicole Casal, and we're going to talk about this tremendous establishment here, Vito's Sandwiches and Specialties, and so much more.
All right, excellent. I think I'm in this video. I am not sure. What we're doing here is behind the scenes for what's to come on Anthony's video at Vito's in Ortley Beach. So I'm filming the behind the scenes. So stay tuned. He's going to have an awesome episode on his channel, Sessas Corner. Check that out. Subscribe to his channel. And we're going to get rolling in just a second. All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another very, very special edition of Sessas Corner. And today, we are down in South Jersey. We're taking over South Jersey on this beautiful, brisk but sunny day right here in Ortley Beach. And in particular, I have the honor of being at one of the new famous establishments down here, Vito's Sandwiches and Specialties, 2304 Route 35 in Ortley Beach, right on the corner of Route 35 and 1st Avenue. Folks, let me tell you, you're in for one heck of a treat. I introduce to you my guests, my dear friends, Vito and Nicole Casal, the proprietors of this incredible, incredible business down here. Let me tell you, it's been a pleasure coming down here today, and thank you so much, Vito and Nicole, for your time, opening up your place for about two folks where food and family are their great passions. No wonder why I get along with both of them so well, because they're right up my alley. You know, so I tell you, thank you both so much. This is an honor. You know, I've heard so much about your place over the last couple of years. Been meaning to get down here, and I'm so glad that here we finally are. We're I'm just it's incredible. It's just a combination of the peppers, the broccoli rabe, and the chicken cutlets, the eggplant, etc., everything that's brewing, it's just unbelievable.
Everything a growing family needs, right?
You better believe it, exactly. Just what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor ordered. So, let's start from the beginning. Now, you guys have been together overall for about 17, 18 years, married for about 4 or 5 years now.
Yep.
From what I understand, you have 2 beautiful children together. And I understand that, respectively, your history with food in general, the food industry goes back to your childhoods, and doing my homework in preparation for today. I mean, so Vito, I understand that you started working in restaurants when you were 12 years old, washing.
Yeah.
You started just by washing dishes. I mean, tell us a little bit about how things got started for you.
Well, when I was 12, my mother worked in a restaurant in West Orange called Belmondo. It was a very prominent restaurant back in the late 80s, 90s.
Yep, I remember.
The owner of it was D'Angelo, who was Bob D'Angelo's brother.
Okay.
So one night my mother says, one of my aunts going to babysit me, and she said, come on, you come to work. So I got in the car. I didn't know where I was going, whatever. So I went in.
So you spin on babysitting.
Yes. So we worked at our house, believe me. So I went to the restaurant with her, and the guys in the kitchen, Mark and John, may they rest in peace, they took to me like in seconds. And within 15 minutes of being there, I was washing dishes. And I can remember, I'm 40, so that was, however long ago, 30-something years ago. But I remember that's where I wanted to be. I felt like I belonged in the kitchen. And I was always looking what was coming out. How was it being prepared? And those were the things that attracted me. Like my grandmother, she passed when I was 4, but I still have vivid memories of her.
God bless her. I mean, so that's an incredible story. And to have that connection with your family, and particularly your father, and basically, I mean, you just fell right into a labor of love. And say, I think we can all agree that Vito's a keeper.
Listen, she's the winner, not me.
Definitely a perfect couple, and I'm so happy for all of you. Now Nicole, your history with the food industry, I mean, goes back to your days as a child, baking with your mother Debbie, who's also a very dear friend of mine, and of course your grandparents as well, and I just want to also mention, folks, as we get a little further into this, Nicole's late father, the late great Sal Mattia, was a very, very dear friend of mine and of many's. And I just want to mention that this particular episode of Sessas Corner is fully dedicated to the memory of our dear friend Sal, who we lost a few months ago. And Sal, I just want you to know that I told you last year at St. Gerard, at the Feast of St. Gerard at St. Lucy's, I said we're going to do a Sessas Corner down here at Vito's, and it may have taken a little bit longer than I had wanted to get it together, but Sal, we are here, and I know you're watching down from us from heaven above, but I'm sure a big, big smile.
Yes.
And so, God bless you, Sal. And Nicole, having said that, I mean, talk a little bit about, your history with getting into, your love of food making and baking and cooking, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, basically, as a kid, my mom worked when I was very little, and my grandmother watched my daughter, my dad's mom. And she lived on North 12th Street in Newark, and we would walk to all the markets and get chicken, cold cuts, and I was always with her while she was preparing that. I was like cutting stringings, I think probably about 5 or 6 years old, helping her in the kitchen. And I just saw how much love that she poured into her food. And, I think I just absorbed that. And, as I got older, I would try to emulate things that she made and to see if I could get it to taste the same. And of course, you can't get it exactly the same, but I came pretty close.
No question about it.
And that just really made my love of food grow. And, my mom was always a fantastic baker. And like our grandmothers and cooking and trying different restaurants,
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, anywhere.
A match made in
Yes.
heaven. And with that's a great segue into a question that I feel has to be asked.
Sure.
Exactly how did you guys meet, if you don't mind?
So, one of my best friends, he's like a brother to me, my friend Sammy.
Okay.
One night we were out, it was a Friday night, it was 2004. So Sammy says to me, just want to go for coffee? I go, I don't want to go for coffee. He goes, come on, let's go to the diner, I want to meet 2 friends of mine. So I said, okay.
There you go.
So he goes, come on, we'll meet here, getting back to food. So we went out for dinner, and one of the nights we were starting to talk, I said, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, you want to go for Chinese food? He says, where we go for Chinese food at 1 o'clock? I said, New York, go to Walmart. He goes, I'm not going to New York at 1 o'clock. She goes, everything's closed. I go, I said, go. But a couple days later, she invited me over to the house to have dinner, and it was actually the first time I met Norma. And Norma made, and I'll never forget, she made homemade macaroni, big long spaghetti, and real thick ones. They were almost like bigger than boutique. It was her own thing. I can't think of the name either. But I remember walking into the house and it smelled like my house. I said, wow. Because, I try to explain to people, when you meet someone, it's always a fun thing.
That's right.
Because eventually you're going to discover what kind of food they like. So, walking into and when we all shared a meal, I felt very home in my in-laws' house, my future in-laws' house. And that was it. And that night we were all having espresso and talking, and I was getting ready to leave. And I said, well, thank you. She goes, I love you. She kissed me. All right? First time. I'm in. I'm in.
I would say that is definitely a sign right there that, you know, I think you knew where things were headed at that point.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the thing.
You absolutely better believe it. That's what life is all about. You have to roll the dice. There's no question about it. It's an old expression that I use a lot in my life. No risk, no reward.
That's right.
And prime example, no question about it.
Yeah.
1 second, I'm just going to get a sip of water.
Sure. Being our grandma was a lot of time. But was there a reason for that? Because it's not an easy thing to find someone from the same little town. Yeah, they might say, yeah, I'm not Bhutan, or I'm this, or I'm that. Yeah, that's great, but it's very hard to find someone connected to towns.
Connection is putting it mildly, I would say, based on that. I mean, that is just incredible how you guys came together, you know, as if it was scripted. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible and heartwarming to hear. And so now you guys, you obviously you come together, and you eventually get married, and you start with Vito's Hot Dogs and Vito's Catering as your first venture in the food industry. So
Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm a big food. I like to read about all the different trends of food, from French food to Thai food to stuff like that. So I'm sitting there one day and I'm reading a magazine and I'm like, wow, a food truck. Like, and I lived out west for a while. I lived in Vegas for a few years.
Yep.
And I was watching a lot of food trucks out there. I said, man, these guys, they've got a mobile kitchen. And I'm like, wow, this is great. So I wanted to do something new and something old that met. So I found a truck and I said, well, all right, I found a truck, now let me figure out what I want to do with it. And growing up down Neck and frequenting the area and Bloomfield Avenue too, there was a hot dog truck on every corner. I mean, you know, you go down the line.
Absolutely.
You go to Tony's, you go to JJ's, you go down Neck to Ralph's, you go to, you know what I mean? So I said, that's what I want to do. I want to do something simple and delicious. So my uncle had helped me format the truck and build out the truck. I think that was 2014 we started, and it was really good. And then you know, we did a lot of food truck events around Jersey. We cook and deal cards in the casino.
I can relate to that.
You know, so I went back to, I was working in Atlantic City at the Trop and dealing poker, and I was miserable every day driving up and down the park. Because I knew where I needed to be.
Yeah.
In my heart, I knew where I needed to be.
And you weren't there at that point, so you felt lost, you felt frustrated.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
understood.
I come home one day and I tell her, listen, we got to do something. We got to get back in the food game.
No doubt about it.
You know, he would bring 6 or 7 guys from work down to the hot dog truck. My mother-in-law and him would come to visits and events, and then my mother-in-law would get on the truck, and she would be so nice and scoop lemon ice and do things. So
I always family affair.
It was.
I was going to say,
incorporate
family affair at its best.
Exactly. I always wanted to incorporate everybody into what I'm doing, especially when I love it. I want you to be with me. I want you to be here.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's what it's all about.
So that's what it came to be. One party begat another party, another party, and another party, and the next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, we need a catering because we're starting to do a lot of catering.
So tremendous story in terms of, you know, your with the catering now. You made it. You made through that 120 person wedding 2 weeks after your son is born, and you're basically full speed ahead at that point.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and along the way, I worked with Bobby Angelo, like what I was talking about before.
Yes. From the famous Michelangelos. Yep.
And he really opened my eyes to the food game.
Yeah.
Like as far as how to buy.
Yep.
What the customer really wants to taste. And I used to say, Bobby, but how do you know? He said, Vito, you don't have to ask people if they like your product. When they come back, that's how you don't have to ask everybody.
That's going to tell you.
That tells you. You have to be consistently good or consistently bad. You do. You have to you can't be good Monday and you're like, Tuesday, Wednesday he's okay. Don't go there Thursdays because he goes, you got to be known as that joint's terrible, that joint sucks, or you got to be known as the best.
Consistency is always the key. Absolutely.
You know, you come here Friday, you're...
As you know, it was Bloomfield Avenue or 12th Street.
Yep.
that's where my grandmother lived, North 12th Street, and I cannot tell you how many meals I ate at Michelangelo's because we literally went there for everyone's birthday, whatever the event celebration was always there. And it was just so weird, like there was another thing that just tied into everything. And,
I've been there many times myself. Now they're in Fairfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
in fact, my wife and I were there not
Fantastic.
too long ago, as a matter of fact, we were there.
Yes.
Michael's a great guy.
Yes.
You know, I loved his father. You know, his father was he was stern with me. You know, he was the Italian Gordon Ramsay. He recognized.
So many tips and tricks.
Oh, forget it.
That,
To where.
and then he in turn taught me.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is how. I'm like, okay.
There you go.
You know, and
There's tricks to every trade.
And he said the biggest part, Vito, one of the other things he told me, it's okay to run out. It's not okay not to have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's okay to run out. That's a good thing. But it's okay not to have, meaning that the guy comes in on Monday, oh, we ran out of cutlets. Well, you come in Tuesday, nah, we didn't make them today.
Yeah.
That's a
no-no.
no. That's like a cardinal sin in the.
Yeah. It's okay to run out. It's not okay not to have. That's what he always said.
That's a very, very true statement. I
Sure.
agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Through all of that, you had this great mentor. You've developed all this incredible experience. So now, you guys are yearning to really, get back into the food industry on a more consistent, more formal type basis. You open up Vito's sandwiches and specialties, but probably I would imagine, not really knowing what to expect. So take us where, like, what was going through your minds at that point, where you had to shift gears at the 11th hour.
That one or you wrong.
I
Yeah,
mean,
We were better.
imagine.
And we stayed that way for a good 6 months. Like, okay, what do we do now?
No
And on
one's.
top of that, like everyone else, he was trying to get us unemployment, and it was just like a nightmare for 6 months.
6 months we were like sitting at
The perfect.
Unemployment, state of Jersey, all that. Holidays come, fine, and then in about January, early January, he just happened to be looking through like Craigslist ads, I think, and there was a store availability in Barnegat.
Okay.
With a hood.
With the hood, it was already
Okay.
set up to be like a sandwich place.
Okay.
So
I was driving with my friend to go show him the place, and on the corner, it's a big for sale for the whole parking lot, where the store that I want to rent. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh, yeah.
So I called. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to get bites. And I'm like,
Not a good feeling,
First of all,
needless to say.
Buy one day, saw a friend line, goes, I'm gonna call. Yeah, but take the shot. Why not?
Nothing to lose.
and not only that,
Take the phone
a week
call.
before that, my buddy calls me up and he tells me, he goes, Pete, that deli in Ortley might be for rent. I'm like, that deli hasn't been active in years. I'm like, you know the work that probably needs? He goes, he goes, call the guy, I don't know. So I call him. And I met with him. And I came through that door, which was all glass and it was shattered. And I walked in here with Nicole, and I looked around, I'm like, it just needed a ton of work because it was only operational.
You were overwhelmed by.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It hasn't been operational in a while, so I don't know, but it had the hood. And that's the key.
Absolutely.
So I had to put blinders on and say,
It had the hood, it had the deli case.
it had the deli case,
Like,
you
a
know,
lot of the equipment that we needed.
And I said, wow, this is not so
You
bad.
had to take a closer look at everything. Yeah.
So again, what's the problem now? Is it going to explode when I turn the key, or was it? So what's going to be the next hurdle? So we went home, and she goes, "What are you thinking?" I go, "Nah, give me too much hope." A couple of days later, she goes, "Are you thinking about it?" I said, "I told you, no, I don't want to do it." She's like, "I think we should do it." She's like, "It's right near the house. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it."
Women's intuition.
Women's intuition. So I said, "All right, let's do it. Screw it. Let's do it." So we did it. So I came in here and
Roll the dice.
for 60 days straight.
Yeah.
We replaced, we did the scrub, clean, we redid all the electric, the gas lines, all new kitchen line equipment.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
You can't operate without
I
a
was going to
credit card.
say that's a critical
Yes.
Very
ingredient.
good. So
the
we're
most
waiting,
critical.
we're waiting, and it literally got lost
Yeah.
on the FedEx truck. I'm like, Here we
Oh
go.
my goodness.
Yeah.
So
It was like shipped overnight from California, but it said overnight, it was 2 weeks.
it was 2 weeks. It was like a big mess, but we ironed it out, and then
An
our
adventure.
register POS system came Thursday before Memorial Day. I was supposed to open that Thursday. I had people coming in and they were like,
Better late than never.
I had bread. I ordered bread for the first day. We had everything almost ready, but it one more day to get mentally prepared. If that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely, it makes sense. Mental preparation is an underlying key to all of it.
So the next thing we know, register set up. Thursday night we're here prepping. My whole crew was here. And Friday morning we open these doors at 10 o'clock, and I don't remember what happened after that.
Yeah, it was just like
It was madness and chaos.
an
And
explosion.
thank you.
And it was,
Right.
Until when you open up full
around
speed
Easter,
ahead.
we're gonna open
Around
up
Easter, we're
a couple
gonna,
days
but
and then-
this starting Wednesday, we're gonna do Wednesday to Sunday, because the weather's
Okay.
breaking.
Okay.
And the other businesses are starting to open too.
Okay.
So we all like to compliment each other,
Understood.
you know,
Yeah,
so
makes
this
sense.
Wednesday, we're gonna be Wednesday to Sunday. And then probably around May, we're gonna do our full summer schedule, more than likely. We just haven't figured it out yet, because down here, it's like, you're never right and you're never wrong.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? It's like ordering bread. You're never gonna be right and you're never gonna be wrong. You just don't know,
Yeah.
you know?
It's 50-50 no matter
Always.
which way. And so I mean, Easter's only couple
Yeah.
weeks away, and then so basically you're gonna kind of grab, you'll be full
Oh, yeah.
probably before
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely.
Because obviously you're going to want to be prepared for what I'm sure will be another mad rush that weekend when South Jersey gets flooded, by the beginning of the unofficial beginning
Yep.
of summer, or I should say the unofficial official beginning of summer, and so forth. That's right around the corner, and but needless to say, you guys are obviously going to be more than ready. You've been through it now a couple of years, so you have the routine down. I'm sure you're always fine-tuning things.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about the incredible menu here. Highlight this remarkable menu, and particularly the signature sandwiches. I mean, we have, the Anytime, the Down Deck, the Cuisine, 12th Street Special, Barrio, the Scoop, and of course my good buddy Tommy Stigs is here helping us behind the scenes today. Sophia, of course, after your daughter, Big V, and then Giovanna. So I know that there's specific meanings and special meanings behind each of these names. Some are a little bit more obvious than others. So let's talk a little bit about some of the meanings behind the names of some of your signature sandwiches and
Sure.
how that came to be and so forth.
So we'll take the Anytime, for example. It's potatoes, peppers, and eggs. Nothing crazy. We put a little spin on it. I put crispy pancetta on the top after, when it's ready to serve. Well, how do you come up with a name for that? Well, everybody calls it potato, pepper, egg sandwich. So her and I are sitting there, we're doing our menu at late at night, 2 in the morning, like we do. We sit up like two, brain surgeons trying to figure out. We can't get out each other's way. And so I said, we got to think of a name for her. I'm like, you really could eat it any time. She goes, well, you really could eat it any time.
Yeah.
I go, that's the name.
100%. There you go.
That's the name. 12th Street is named after the Nicole family because they grew up on 12th Street.
Yep.
And she always liked to put prosciutto and the chicken cutlet on her sandwich. And we,
And the roasted peppers.
roasted peppers, we call Norris peppers.
The take on my grandmother's peppers. Or a person emulates them or what they like in some way.
Yeah.
So everything has a meaning. Like I said before, other than jumbo and parmesan,
Right.
because you can't call them anything else.
That's true.
But the big key, that's what I eat. Like on a
Yeah.
Sunday, I would take the bread while the meatballs are in a pot. I would take the pot cheese would be there. And it's another story about pot cheese.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the name of that.
Ricotta.
My late father used to do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You take the scoop of pot cheese, put it on the bread with a meatball, and if there was fresh basil in it, put a little basil, grated cheese. And that's my sandwich. There's a deli, you can come in and get something on a rye, you can get a round roll, you can
Yeah.
I'm really not a deli. I want you to come in and experience the sandwich the way I created it. the way we
Exactly.
created it.
Yeah.
Our special bread we get from New York every day.
Hence the name Vito's Sandwiches
Right.
and Specialties.
What'd you do when you were a kid? Your mother would make meatballs, fried meatballs, or a piece of sausage. You sit, play stickball or whatever on a scoop, and your mother would say, here, put this in, she'd give you a sandwich.
And as we all know, life is always better
On the
on the
stoop.
stoop.
Yeah.
So things like that. It wasn't brain surgery. It was just what we enjoy. And we want people to enjoy what we enjoy. You know, because we could do like everybody else does. We could buy pre-made stuff. We can do this. We can do that's not a knock to anybody. Whatever how you do things is different.
Yeah. Listen, to each his own.
To each his own. But the way we do things here is you're getting quality. You're getting, you know, you're getting a part of us with everything that we do.
You're getting a labor of love.
Exactly.
On
You're not just a number, or you're not just a dollar sign to us. Money, I don't care. I want you to leave with a smile. I want you to leave saying, wow, that was a great freaking sandwich. Or, wow, that was a great catering order. You know, that was
absolutely.
I'm so happy we use Vito's for catering. Am I the best? No. Am I good? Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That model and approach that you just described, if you ask me, that's the way all businesses should operate. You know, and so I applaud both of you for that approach and putting that into action each and every day here. And I think that is without question the underlying key to the great success that you guys have had with this establishment, you know, going into essentially your third year here. You know, here you are going into the third year, and I think that approach is one of the biggest underlying reasons why you are still here and continuing to grow and so forth. So
Orders the night before, so I come in about 9, and he's over there, and I go, he goes, look, somebody put a thing through the door for cold cuts.
Oh, yes.
It was like this
You
long.
put in no inventory for cold
At like 7 o'clock in the morning.
I'll
So he
be
was
back
cutting
on
coke?
my way from, I'm walking home from church, I'll pick him up on the way. At like 10:30.
It was like 15 pounds of cold cuts got cut. I'm like, these people are crazy. They
So he was cutting cold cuts?
Oh yeah, he's Tommy's.
Good. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad I reached out to him.
I'll tell you,
somebody put
Again, that worked out like
Yeah,
beautifully.
I reached out
Crazy.
just before you guys are opening.
He reached out to Tony, I'm like, yes,
send it down.
That's it. He's your guy
somebody
now.
just took it upon themselves to leave a slip.
They do it all the time.
Right, so I tell you, you know, so needless to say, business is picking up. People are coming in and on this beautiful Saturday, and you know, so having said, you know where you guys are at now, what do you envision for the future of Vito's sandwiches and specialties? What do you anticipate?
Truthfully, I'd like to maybe, I'd like to expand and like put 4 tables in here. So people can sit and enjoy, have an espresso, have a pastry, have a sandwich. You know, listen, like we used to do in the old days. Sit and hang out, have a coffee, have a sandwich, and go to Vito's with Vito. That's my vision. I don't want anything too bigger. I mean, hopefully one day, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to do. And I want to start doing, if I ever have tables, I'd like to do little entree dishes, little tastings, stuff like that. And I want you to enjoy yourself. That's my vision.
So inside, Anthony's doing the Sessas Corner here at Vito's. I'm just doing the behind the scenes, a little bit of behind the scenes video, like a pilot for his episode on Sessas Corner. Please go to Sessas Corner, subscribe to his channel. This is like a teaser to his episode. It's we're doing real live action. There's customers inside. It's just a regular family business with real good quality food. So come down to Vito's in Ortley Beach, and that's it. That's what we're doing. So we're doing Sessas Corner at Vito's in Ortley Beach. This is just like the pilot, the teaser video for Anthony Sessa's episode on Sessas Corner.
This is a scratch made kitchen. I mean, 90% of the things that we make,
You could hear them talking inside.
from peppers, the chicken cutlets, like everything. The restaurant businesses, I try, people always come to me for my advice. I don't know how good I am with it, but thanks guys, appreciate it. I always tell them, you gotta watch how you order. Go.
They showed up.
They showed up, and I mean, they showed up in the middle
Yeah. Like,
of chaos.
yes.
And not one of them threw the apron on and said, I can't do this. They stood from Cole and Tommy and Tara and Vincenzo and my whole staff, Michaela, everybody. I had these kids that never Knew nothing.
They went right into the line of fire. They didn't
And
hesitate.
they jumped in.
They jumped in, and I had people didn't know how to pronounce Sweetie Belle. They're like, what is it? I'm like, it's not a, you just gotta tell them it's a Sweetie Belle, this is what it's in.
Exactly.
You know, what's this red stuff? Well, that's peppers. What is pepper? They're red pepper. So we had and we're doing this, training them as we're busy. And I'm trying to show them how to, you know, saute a chicken cutlet. I'm showing them how to saute this. And I'm making 13 sandwiches at the same time. She's over at the register, you know.
Talk about multitasking.
Yes, absolutely.
And at the end of the day, you go home and you're like, what the F just happened today?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And you fall asleep, take your shower, fall asleep, and you're back at it
all
again.
over
in the
again.
morning.
Start all over again the
Start all over
following
again.
day.
Absolutely.
You know, so our staff is one of the reasons why everything from our family to my in-laws to, you know, they made this. You know, we cooked. We might have, you know, threw some things on the wall. We might have, you know, don't come for a paycheck. If you're here just for a paycheck, don't work. I don't need you. I want you to be here because you want to be here.
Exactly.
Because you want to be able to go home and say, hey, listen, I'm going to make my mother eggplant rollatini today. You know? And I want you to do that. I don't want you to come here and say, oh, I'm just here at this job. No, do me a favor. Go somewhere else,
Like,
please.
one of our youngest employees, Vincenzo, he started off in
Knew
the
nothing.
kitchen, knew nothing, and you know, just really seeing his mom cook. You know, his mom's Italian, she could, you know, and wash dishes, and now he's starting to work on and make sandwiches, and like just how much he's grown in a year, it's unbelievable, and it's so nice to see that. He, you know, he shows us, oh, I made this for my parents this week. Yesterday he showed me he made his parents.
Mentor.
Wow.
Now you're the
And
mentor.
believe me when I tell you, it's very humbling
Yeah.
because I'm like,
It's a great
wow,
feeling.
I guess I did,
Yeah.
you know, listen, I guess I did do something.
And now someone is listening to you
Yeah.
and learning from you, just like you learned from Bobby.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a domino effect.
And another thing, like Bob used to tell me, I said, Bobby, but how do you get the, you can't argue with success. He used to tell me, you can't argue with
It's a
success.
very true statement.
Am I successful? I don't know.
We're on our way.
I would say you already are, but I think there's a lot more success to come.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, you know,
And there's a lot of room for growth. One, you know,
you know,
designing a menu with
Thank you
them.
so much, guys.
Thank you. Designing the menu with them.
Like you said, a labor of love, and it's all falling into place more and more each and every day. And you know, you guys you've had great success thus far, and there's not a doubt in my mind that there is so much more success to come. You guys, this is really just the beginning, and as the old expression goes, the best is yet to come. No question about it. And you know, I definitely would love to see, you know, all the you know, the workings
Sure.
of the operation, if you will, and